Magic is a deeply forbidden and perilous practice within Islamic theology. It goes beyond mere enchantments, as it involves summoning jinn and demons, attributing powers to them instead of Allah. This act directly opposes the core tenet of Tawheed, the absolute oneness and sovereignty of Allah, marking it as a grave theological transgression. The Quran condemns magic explicitly. In Surah Al-Baqarah chapter 2 verse 102, the story of Harut and Marut, two angels sent to Babylon, is told. They taught people magic as a test, warning them that practicing it would lead to spiritual ruin. This tale serves as a stark warning against the allure of forbidden knowledge and the severe consequences of engaging in such practices. Ibn Taymiyyah and Al-Ghazali, two prominent Islamic philosophers, have written extensively about the nature of magic and how it undermines both individual and societal harmony. Islam encourages spiritual and moral excellence, whereas magic is seen as the antithesis, an insult to the order established by Allah. The practice of magic leads people away from righteousness, offering false promises while causing significant spiritual and social harm. It is a dark path that distracts believers from the light of faith and the righteous way of life that Islam advocates. By understanding the theological implications and dangers of magic, Muslims can remain vigilant and steadfast in their faith, adhering to the divine guidance and the principles of Tawheed. Pre-Islamic Arabia, often referred to as the Jahiliyyah period, was a milieu rife with various forms of magic and superstition. Magic, deeply entrenched in the cultural and social practices of the time, was utilized for myriad purposes, ranging from healing and protection to malevolent activities aimed at harming others. These practices were not merely isolated superstitions, but were integral to the worldview of the people, influencing their interactions and societal structures. The advent of Islam brought a paradigmatic shift in the perception and practice of magic. The Quran and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, explicitly condemned these practices, highlighting their incompatibility with the monotheistic foundation of Islam. The Quran addresses the people of the Jahiliyyah, calling them to abandon their erroneous ways and embrace the light of divine guidance. This call for a spiritual and moral awakening included a repudiation of all forms of magic and superstition. Numerous examples of pre-Islamic magical practices can be found in historical documents and Islamic traditions. For example, soothsaying, or kahin, was a common practice, and soothsayers had great power over both tribes and individuals. These soothsayers professed to have knowledge of the unseen, an assertion that Islam exclusively confines to Allah. The Quran refutes the claims of soothsayers and magicians by emphasizing time and again that Allah alone is the possessor of knowledge of the unseen. Stories about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, also show how pre-Islamic and Islamic perspectives on magic have changed. His life and beliefs stand in stark contrast to the Jahiliyyah's customs, acting as a beacon of guidance. The Prophet's denunciation of magic was a social reform as well as a theological one, intended to eradicate customs that supported injustice and ignorance. In summary, the historical paradigms and pre-Islamic magical practices represent a stark contrast to the Islamic worldview. The transition from Jahiliyyah to Islam marked a profound transformation, as the new faith sought to purify the spiritual and social landscape, eradicating the vestiges of superstition and falsehood that magic embodied. Another critical verse addressing black magic is found in Surah Al-Falaq, chapter 113, verse 4. Here Allah commands believers to seek refuge from the evil of those who practice witchcraft and blow on knots. This succinct yet profound verse captures the essence of black magic's malevolence, highlighting its hidden and insidious nature. The act of seeking refuge in Allah underscores the importance of divine protection against such malevolent forces. Islamic scholars have extensively analyzed these verses, providing a detailed exegesis that emphasizes the prohibition of black magic. Classical exegesis like Ibn Kathir and Al-Qutubi have elaborated on the implications of these Quranic injunctions. They assert that black magic constitutes an act of disbelief because it relies on the invocation of jinn and shayateen, directly opposing the principles of Tawheed. This theological perspective frames black magic as a profound affront to the oneness of Allah. Moreover, the Quranic condemnation of black magic extends beyond its mere practice to include those who seek its benefits. This broader condemnation underscores the imperative for Muslims to rely solely on Allah's protection and guidance, reinforcing the core Islamic belief in Allah's omnipotence and mercy. The emphasis on seeking refuge in Allah serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of maintaining faith and trust in divine protection against all forms of evil. Ultimately, the interpretation of the Quran regarding black magic provides a definitive and unambiguous rejection of the custom. It draws attention to the spiritual danger that black magic poses, the theological distortions it involves, and the need for Muslims to ask Allah to shield them from its negative effects. In order to protect one's spiritual integrity and well-being, this all-encompassing approach emphasizes how crucial it is to follow Tawhid principles and divine direction. The socio-psychological consequences of black magic are deeply unsettling, permeating every facet of individual and communal life with insidious malevolence. Black magic, by its very nature, aims to unravel the delicate fabric of human existence, inflicting profound psychological torment and social chaos. Its effects are stealthy and pervasive, manifesting as inexplicable physical maladies, severe mental disturbances, and pervasive relational discord. Psychologically, individuals afflicted by black magic may descend into severe anxiety, crippling depression, and an all-consuming sense of dread. These symptoms are often exacerbated by the stigma and secrecy that shroud black magic, isolating victims and rendering them incapable of seeking timely intervention. The mental torment inflicted by black magic can fracture personal relationships as victims become distrustful, paranoid, and emotionally withdrawn. The relentless psychological assault can lead to a sense of entrapment, where the afflicted feel as though they are under a constant, inescapable threat. Islamic teachings underscore the paramount importance of social harmony and psychological well-being, both of which are viciously undermined by black magic. The Quran and Hadith repeatedly emphasize the values of mutual trust, compassion, and the preservation of social bonds. Black magic, however, seeks to sever these bonds, fostering enmity and discord in its wake. It is an anathema to the principles of mutual respect and communal integrity that Islam champions. Beyond just its victims, black magic has a profound psychological effect that entangles its practitioners in a web of moral and spiritual degradation. Black magic frequently requires calling upon evil supernatural beings, which results in a severe loss of moral integrity and spiritual serenity. Practitioners could discover that the very things they tried to control are haunting them, keeping them in a terrifying cycle of obsession and terror. Practitioners may live in a condition of constant fear because of the persistent threat of retaliation from these forces, with the shadow of their dark arts consuming their existence. In confronting the socio-psychological horrors of black magic, Islamic teachings advocate a return to unwavering faith and trust in Allah. The practice of regular prayer, the recitation of protective Quranic verses, and seeking refuge in Allah's infinite mercy are powerful countermeasures against the malevolent effects of black magic. These spiritual practices not only offer psychological solace but also reinforce social bonds, fostering a resilient sense of community and mutual support. Essentially, black magic has far-reaching and extremely harmful socio-psychological repercussions that cause widespread anxiety and strife in both individuals and societies. With its emphasis on faith, spiritual strength, and social peace as essential components of holistic well-being, Islam offers a strong foundation for dealing with these effects. Fighting black magic involves more than just taking on a spiritual foe. It involves defending the fundamental principles of social justice and human decency. Numerous recorded cases of black magic occur throughout Islamic history, highlighting both the practice's ongoing existence and the ongoing resistance to it. These historical accounts underscore how crucial it is to follow Islamic teachings in order to protect against the harmful influence of black magic, while also providing insightful explanations of its origins and effects. One of the most notable incidents involves the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him himself. According to Hadith literature, the Prophet was targeted by a Jewish sorcerer named Labid ibn al-Asam, who used a comb and hair from the Prophet to cast a spell. This incident is meticulously documented in Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, where it is narrated that the Prophet experienced severe physical and mental distress until the spell was broken by the revelation of Surah Al-Falaq and Surah An-Nas. This event not only highlights the grim reality of black magic, but also demonstrates the formidable power of the Quran in counteracting its pernicious effects. Another significant account from Islamic history involves the reign of Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab, renowned for his unwavering enforcement of Islamic law. Umar is reported to have taken decisive action against practitioners of black magic, ordering their execution to eradicate this malevolent practice from the Muslim community. This historical precedent underscores the gravity with which black magic was treated in early Islamic governance, reflecting its perceived threat to spiritual and social integrity. The Abbasid era also witnessed numerous instances of black magic. The eminent scholar Al-Jahiz documented various cases in his works, providing a glimpse into the prevalence of black magic and the societal measures taken to combat it. The Abbasid Caliphate's emphasis on knowledge and scholarship included rigorous efforts to understand and refute the practices of sorcery, reinforcing the Islamic prohibition against such dark arts. Throughout Islamic history, scholars like Ibn Taymiyyah have engaged deeply with the issue of black magic. Ibn Taymiyyah's extensive works provide a thorough analysis of the nature of black magic, its deleterious effects, and the appropriate Islamic responses. His writings remain influential, offering guidance on dealing with black magic in strict accordance with Sharia. Ibn Taymiyyah emphasized that black magic is a grievous sin that necessitates vigilant spiritual and social safeguards. In contemporary times, the phenomenon of black magic continues to be a significant concern in many Muslim communities. Modern scholars and religious authorities stress the critical importance of education and awareness to combat the persistence of these practices. The consistent use of Quranic verses, earnest prayers, and unwavering adherence to Islamic principles are continually advocated as potent measures against the insidious effects of black magic. In the face of black magic, the paramount importance of faith and spiritual fortitude stands unequivocally central in Islamic teachings. Islam profoundly emphasizes the invincible strength of unwavering belief in Allah and the resilience of the soul as primary defenses against all forms of malevolent forces, including those conjured through black magic. Faith in Allah is the bedrock of a Muslim's life. Through steadfast faith, believers find solace, strength, and protection. The Quran assures the faithful that those who place their trust in Allah are safeguarded from harm. Surah Al-Falaq and Surah An-Nas, revealed specifically to protect against the evil of black magic and other harms, exemplify this divine assurance. The recitation of these surahs, along with Ayat-ul-Kursi, fortifies the believer's spiritual defenses, creating a protective barrier against any malevolent intentions. Spiritual fortitude is cultivated through consistent acts of worship and strict adherence to Islamic principles. Prayer serves as a direct and powerful connection between the believer and Allah, offering a means of seeking divine assistance while reinforcing spiritual resilience. Regular prayer, coupled with sincere supplications, deepens the believer's bond with Allah, ensuring continual divine guidance and protection. Furthermore, Islamic tradition underscores the significance of maintaining a pure and pious lifestyle. Acts of charity, fasting, and pilgrimage are not mere rituals. They are profound acts of worship designed to purify the soul and enhance spiritual fortitude. Engaging in these acts with sincerity and devotion elevates one's spiritual state, making it more resistant to the infiltration of evil forces. Community and social support also play a vital role in sustaining faith and spiritual resilience. Islam encourages believers to seek the company of the righteous and to immerse themselves in a supportive community. This collective strength and mutual support act as a formidable buffer against the isolation and fear that black magic aims to instill. The communal recitation of Quranic verses, collective prayers, and the sharing of knowledge about protective measures all contribute significantly to reinforcing the community's spiritual fortitude. In addressing the threat of black magic, Islamic teachings advocate for a holistic approach that integrates spiritual practices with practical measures. Seeking knowledge, maintaining vigilance, and adhering strictly to Islamic principles are essential components of this approach. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, exemplified this balance by combining reliance on Allah with proactive steps to protect against harm, such as seeking medical treatment and promoting a healthy lifestyle. In conclusion, the paramount importance of faith and spiritual fortitude in combating black magic is deeply rooted in Islamic tradition. By nurturing a robust and unwavering belief in Allah, engaging in regular acts of worship, and leading a pure and righteous life, Muslims can effectively shield themselves from the insidious effects of black magic. The combined strength of individual faith and communal support ensures that believers remain protected, resilient, and spiritually fortified against any form of spiritual threat. If you found this video insightful, please like and share it with others who may benefit from this knowledge. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content on Islamic teachings and guidance. Thank you for watching.